Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Strong and Simple podcast.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
You are serious.
So serious. That's because I just seriously cleansed myself in the shower.
Did you poop in the shower?
No.
Oh, okay.
This was an external cleanse.
Okay.
Nope. No pooping in the shower.
No pooping in the shower.
I mean, no judgment if like anybody's had an experience where that has had to happen, maybe because you were taking some sort of cleanse or detox product that encourages or includes laxatives in the ingredients. You may have had an urgent shower. Whatever I said the other day.
It was. That's what it was.
So anyways, today we're going to be talking about cleanses. We're going to be talking about cleanses.
Sorry, it hurts. Okay. Okay. All right.
And mostly because there are particular times a year when we start to see the rise of marketing around a jumpstart or a cleanse or a detox.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly today, we're recording this on November 1st, the day after Halloween. This is a big time when some influencers and MLM folks will start saying, oh, well, if you feel yucky because you overate on candy, or, get a jump start before the holidays. The other big time is after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
After New Year's.
Yep.
Before the summertime, right? So all these times when we're equating like losing a quick 5-10 pounds, depending on how long this detox or cleanse program lasts, right?
Yep.
So I guess today we just want to kind of talk about, because it's probably fairly timely for some of you listening, because you're probably starting to see the rise of some of these products popping up on your social media feeds and things. So just wanted to kind of talk about if this is something you're contemplating. Is it something that, you might want to do? Like, what are the pros of it? What are the cons of it? What are, is there really any science behind it beyond the pooping? And, I don't want people to start thinking like, oh my God, they're just like a poop podcast.
We're a poop podcast.
Like, we're not a poop pod, but, in the world of fitness, nutrition, wellness, right?
Yeah.
First of all, having a regular digestive system, poop can be a really good indicator of health, right?
Yeah.
And how things are working, especially if there are changes in that bodily function.
Yes.
But also in the world of fitness, nutrition, and wellness, things that are offering quick fixes or detoxes or cleanses. Typically, one of the main ingredients is some sort of laxative that then has you poop a lot, which will then perhaps have you have a whoosh of weight loss very quickly.
Right. We laugh, but like we are both professionals. And in the course of, working with our nutrition clients, it comes up. And we do not laugh about it unless our clients laugh first.
Right.
And it's normal. Like I talk about poop all the time. So let's just like clear the air, so to speak. You know, it's a normal thing. We can talk about poop, and we don't, you know, it's fine.
It's fine.
But I feel like this is kind of like part of what makes so many of these cleanses successful, right? Because they don't tell you that the main ingredient is a laxative, right? And unless you know what you're looking for, you're not going to know that there's laxatives in that. Not to mention, depending on what the product is, they might not have to list all of those ingredients either. So we have this, you know, situation where these folks are selling you this program, and then like you're literally just losing control of your bowels for a week, and they're like, that's because your body needs to flush this stuff away. That's a sign that all of this toxic stuff has built up. And for the average person that, one, doesn't know what they're looking at in the ingredients label, or two, isn't about to go research in their own poo, right? That sounds like a legitimate thing, right? And, you know, it makes sense on some level, right? Like if it's a thing that your body doesn't want, it needs to flush it out, right? Like when you get food poisoning, right? What happens when you get food poisoning? You vomit a lot and you poop a lot, because your body's trying to flush it out. And so they're kind of like taking this normal thing that happens and convince you that this is part of your body's process and it has nothing to do with the ingredients in whatever cleanse product they're selling you.
So what are some of these ingredients, Marissa?
Caffeine's a big one.
Does caffeine make you poop?
It can.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, every morning.
That's why, you know, gotta have my cup of Joe, get things moving.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Caffeine's definitely a big one. Or they'll load it with fiber, right? Whether it's psyllium husk or chicory or like whatever, you know, insoluble fiber they choose to put in there. That's another big one. What am I missing? I think those are kind of the two big ones.
Yeah, I think those are the two big ones. And then there's the encouragement, like drink a lot of water, because first of all, if you consume a lot of fiber, especially if your body is not used to it, you definitely need to make sure you're hydrating.
Yep.
Being well hydrated also helps your digestive system move along. So typically there's, you know, that part of a cleanse or detox where it's like, just keep drinking water, drink those gallons of water, and they'll be like, and put some lemon in it and it'll make you lose even more weight. I mean, lemon water is delicious, but
it's not going to do anything for your metabolism, contrary to what folks will tell you. Yeah. But that, I mean, water can also, you know, if you drink enough of it, can kind of help things along. We want to be
well hydrated. So I'm not going to knock, you know, being well hydrated, but you don't necessarily need to have like 2 gallons of water a day.
Absolutely. And I a lot of these programs will also have you eat like a lot of raw fruits and vegetables as well, which obviously can contribute to that. But one of the flip sides that a lot of folks don't realize is if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber and you suddenly start eating a ton of fiber, it can actually have the opposite effect on you. It can actually bind you up. Which then, you know, bloating, gas, a lot of discomfort. And it seems like they've got an explanation for everything. When that happens, it's working then, right? You're reacting, right? These things don't want to leave your body, or, you know, that's part of the detox process. I remember there was a product, it was a cleanse program for one of the MLMs that I was in back in the day. And literally, like, they would do like a webinar series along with it. And one of the topics was the Herxheimer effect, wherein if you are like healing in some way, things have to get worse in order to get better. And so for like that part of the cleanse where you're like absolutely miserable, it's like, no, that's a good thing that you feel like shit.
Yeah. So the other piece of this is you are typically, you know, taking some sort of supplement to go along, right? And there's usually some sort of like meal plan that is super, super restrictive, like 500, 800 calories a day.
Yes.
And if you go back to the episode where we talk about is 1,200 calories enough? We know that 1,200 calories a day is not enough for most adults.
Yep.
Neither is 500 or 800. And there's actually, you know, anything that goes under 1,200 calories a day is supposed to be medically supervised.
Yeah. Because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're in the danger zone.
You know, so, and a lot of these cleanses kind of skirt around that issue because it's just like a jump start. It's a 3-day thing or a 5-day thing. So it's not forever. And then you start adding other foods in and, you know,
I think that's like the loophole, right? Because it's like, in theory, right? And there are always exceptions. So folks listening, do not take this as me saying, don't worry about it. But they tend to keep them to a short enough span where it's like, in most cases, permanent damage will not happen, right? Like really bad things aren't going to happen. But that doesn't mean they don't, you know? So again, don't take this as an absolute, but 3 days or 5 days or even a week. Yeah.
And it's, don't exercise because your body's working really hard to cleanse. And it's like, no, your body just doesn't have enough fuel to, do anything.
You literally
so if you're somebody who is, training for something, if you are lifting heavier weights, if you are running for some sort of distance or at all, even if you're somebody who really enjoys like daily walks, that could put you over the edge of, and you're going to feel tired. You're probably going to feel cranky. And these are, again, like Marissa said before, these are all things that the product or the distributor will say, well, that just means it's working. It's like shaking out all the bad stuff out of you, whatever. I wish I should have looked up some of the language that is utilized, but they'll usually say, pair this with like some gentle yoga or whatever. And
and like what they mean by gentle yoga
more.
The sleep is like, part of the process when it's like, no, you're starving.
You're just really hungry.
Yeah.
And the other part is, we know that and we've talked about this before on the pod, that when you put yourself in a state of restriction like this, first of all, you're going to lose all like whatever weight you lose from being super restricted and from most likely pooping a lot. That weight, as soon as you eat normally, is going to come right back on. And I mean, they're not trying to market it as something sustainable. That's why they're like, it's usually attached to some sort of like kickstart your journey, because then you're going to lose a ton of weight, right away. And then we'll move you into something that's more sustainable, which is usually something that's like 1,200 calories and still pretty super restrictive.
Right. But it's like, while you're excited, we're going to get you on the next product.
Yeah. Because, that reinforcer of, wow, look at that change. And it's mostly water weight. Water weight.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Yeah. And so I feel like we've done a good job kind of explaining what they tend to look like, right? And a lot of what's going on. But I think we need to dive into like, okay, so do they work? Like, do we actually need to cleanse as human beings? And folks, they will give you a million and, folks that are selling these things will give you 1,000,001 reasons why you need to. And they'll say scary things like heavy metal toxicity. They love that one. That's a really big
hormones,
gut health. Right. And, convincing you that all of these things are building up in your system and you have no idea. And there are no tests for them. So you don't know. And so the only way that you can know is if you do this cleanse and, by the end, you'll feel better. And it's actually, I feel like what's actually happening when you do these programs is the program makes you feel so absolutely terrible that at the end, when you finally get to start eating normally again, you feel amazing. And you think that that's because of the program, when it's actually like, nope, that's your body saying, thank you for feeding me normally again and no longer restricting. And maybe for some folks, maybe they are more hydrated than they used to be. And so that maybe they're feeling the benefits of that. Maybe they are eating more fiber than they used to. And maybe they're feeling the benefits of that. But do we actually need to be doing something specific to detox our body? And the answer is unequivocally no. There's no product that you need to buy, and you don't need to be cycling through eating certain foods and then not eating certain foods in order to detoxify your body, because we have a liver and kidneys, and assuming those things are working properly, your body is removing the toxins from itself. Right. It does a really good job of that. Much better than any diuretic will ever do. Removing toxins isn't just about pooping. It's a whole complicated thing, and we remove toxins in a lot of different ways from our body. You don't have to be spending a week in the bathroom in order to do that. Or
big bucks on supplements from a particular company.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, and there's a lot of like fat phobia in that too, right? Because they'll tell you, toxins like to build up in adipose tissue, in particular, fatty tissue. And again, it's like, cool. Tell me exactly which ones and show me the evidence of that, and show me the evidence that your product actually is going to be removing those things. Yeah. The end.
Yeah. I don't think there's any evidence of that. Is there?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so either. And I mean, the other piece, to kind of circle back to the fat phobia piece. I mean, these products and programs are saying it's about your health. It's about health, but then always have to have the before and after picture, or, the then and now picture or whatever, showing that after this cleanse, you're now in a smaller body. So that is, that once again, that if you are smaller, you are healthier. If you're smaller, you're more desirable, so feeling like crap for a week is obviously healthy. Because now you can wear that bathing suit.
Yeah.
Well, you can always wear that bathing suit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The fact is, it was never actually about the health.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I guess, there's that particular company that we talked about a few weeks ago, and one of their newer programs, the gut protocol or whatever bullshit they call it, is essentially, they talk about how, it's if you have bad gut health, and we know gut health is health, and, if you are really bloated and you have indigestion and you're constipated or whatever, do this 4-week protocol, which is essentially an elimination diet, I believe. And then look, you'll lose all this weight, and we've healed your gut. And also all their coaches suddenly all had gut problems, that their, mainstream, like main product is supposed to fix all these problems. Yeah. So now you're saying all you have been drinking this particular shake for all this time, and your gut which is supposed to be great for your gut, and now you all now suddenly have a bad gut.
Wait, we weren't supposed to catch on to that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Forgot. I'm stupid female who's supposed to be too preoccupied with wanting to lose weight to pay attention to details.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But it's not even MLMs, right? Like, Gwyneth Paltrow sells a cleanse, and then there's the Master Cleanse, right?
Oh, can we talk about the Master Cleanse? What is that?
So
is that the one with the cayenne pepper?
Yes.
I'm looking it up now.
And from what I've heard, it's like feels like torture. From folks who have done it. I feel like, I know Maintenance Phase did an episode on it. And I remember they read an account from somebody who did it, and they literally were like, cold sweats, felt like I was going to die.
My God.
Like, yeah.
Oh, so this is what pops up first from Wikipedia, which I know, wicked reliable source here.
Okay.
Proponents claim that the diet tones, reduces, and cleanses the body, allowing the body to heal itself. There is no evidence that the diet removes any toxins or that it achieves anything beyond temporary weight loss, followed by rapidly regaining the lost weight.
Yep.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
And I mean, I feel like that's like you can sum up every single cleanse program out there
Oh my God.
in that same way. It's all very restrictive diets in some way, shape, or form. They all look different, but they're all super restrictive with a bunch of bogus health claims, right? Like, listen, you can't eat a certain way and make your body heal better. That's like not a thing. Like eating cayenne pepper and lemon water and with apple cider vinegar is not going to make your body heal any better. It's going to probably give you ulcers in your mouth, but it's not going to make you heal any better. But that's pretty much what they all are. It's these like super restrictive diets. And so you can only do them for so long before you then swing back in the opposite direction. And very often it is the far extreme of that opposite direction, which then just kind of further drives home their point of how badly you need to be doing this cleanse because you can't help yourself and you're eating dirty, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, 600 to 1200 calories a day. This particular cleanse, it's a liquid cleanse.
Yes.
So you're probably not getting any protein.
No,
You're
fiber.
not getting the vitamins and nutrients that you need.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say here?
Fiber. Probably not getting any.
Lemonade is made up of organic lemon juice, maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and filtered water. Oh yeah, fucking filtered water.
It's always filtered.
During the lemonade diet phase, you must also take either a nightly herbal laxative or a morning saltwater flush made up of water and sea salt. These are meant to induce daily bowel movements.
Because you can't poop if you're only eating lemonade and cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
There's no fiber in that. And you're not getting enough substance to create a bowel movement.
So it's essentially just another crash diet that celebrities ride or die by.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I would pass on that, my friends.
100%.
If we're going to smash 100%. Or pass this diet, we're going to pass.
You lost me at cayenne pepper.
I mean, I like cayenne pepper.
I can't.
Not in my drink.
Right.
I also don't necessarily think I want to drink maple syrup. Oh, maybe I take that back. I did enjoy a shot at brunch in Austin with the girls, and it was like a breakfast shot. And it was, I can't remember what it is. Dana Marie, if you're listening, remind me. There was definitely maple syrup in it and a big piece of bacon. It was very
interesting.
Good. I couldn't have done more than one of them because it was sweet, but I don't know. But anyways, that would be how I would drink my maple syrup.
I had a friend that used to do shots of maple syrup, like pancake syrup, not like real maple syrup, like the log cabin Aunt Jemima brand, just shoot maple syrup. And yeah, she's my hero.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be great like before a run, like a long, like if it's your long run to get that like real quick hit of glucose. Yes.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
But anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
think overall, we can keep like running around with this. Overall, there is nothing that is on the market right now, especially something that you're buying from an MLM or that you're finding on the interwebs that is going to detoxify metals or toxins out of your body.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated, eat fruits and vegetables, eat what you enjoy, and your kidneys and livers will do one liver. Your kidneys and liver, maybe two. Your kidney and liver will do the rest. And if they're not, then you need to go to the fucking doctor.
Yeah. Like a cleanse isn't going to solve that. You have a problem that needs medical attention.
Please go to the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
And if you're having difficulty with your digestive system, if certain foods are making you feel a kind of way when you eat them, go see a registered dietitian or your doctor and have a conversation with them about potential food intolerances or allergies.
Yeah.
This is a topic for another day when I would actually love to have a registered dietitian or an MD on to have a conversation about this. But the incidence rate of folks with identified food allergies and food intolerances is also way lower than wellness influencers
Would have you
and
believe.
programs
Yeah.
have you believe.
Yeah.
They have you believe that everybody is allergic or intolerant to gluten. Everybody is allergic or intolerant to dairy. Everybody should be avoiding black beans because of X, Y, and Z. And it's just not true. It's just not true. They blow those numbers way out of proportion. But that's not to say that like you may not be one of the people who does have a food intolerance, or certain things may just not sit well with you, especially as you get older.
Yeah.
So
It's
sometimes
true.
just making note of when maybe your stomach doesn't feel great, like right after a meal or the next day, keeping a little food journal, paying attention to that. And then the next time you go to your doctor, you bring it up with them.
Yep. Absolutely. While we're on this topic, since we're here, food sensitivities. Let's be real clear here. There is no test for a food sensitivity.
Wait, what?
Yes, you cannot test for a food
But what about all those
sensitivity.
blood tests?
Yeah, save your money on those. They're a money grab, just like a cleanse.
Money grabber.
If you notice that a food isn't sitting well with you, it doesn't mean you have to go and get testing to confirm the existence of a sensitivity. If you suspect that you're sensitive to it for whatever reason, right, that's not necessarily a diagnosable condition or anything that can be physiologically explained. If you don't like the way a food sits with you, don't eat it. Save your money on buying one of those at-home test kits because it's nonsense. It's really, there's no actual test because there's no biomarker for a sensitivity like there is an allergy or an intolerance. So, yeah.
Meanwhile, if you tend to get hives or itchy throat symptoms after eating something, make sure you go and get that checked out.
Yeah. Do that.
If it is a food allergy, that can be very life-threatening. So make sure you're getting that checked out. Disclaimer.
I know. I love how often we try to cover our asses in this show. We're like, just in case.
And not only that, but want y'all out there to be safe.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And don't want you being hoodwinked by
charlatans.
That word just came from.
We've been hoodwinked.
I kind of wanted to say it in a pirate voice, but I don't is that something pirates say?
Sure, go for it. I want to hear this. No. I'm waiting.
I've been hoodwinked.
That was worth it. Thank you. Worth it. Totally worth it.
Glad I'm here for your amusement on a weekly basis.
I appreciate it.
So overall, pass on the cleanses, pass on the detoxes. They're not necessary. If you're feeling bound up in any sort of way, go ahead and, drink some water, get some extra fiber.
Move a little.
Bound up for more than a few days, probably should consult with your doctor. They'll probably recommend something like Miralax or whatever over the counter.
Yep.
But that's not something that's meant to be taken on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And know that these marketed cleanses, detoxes are just out there as money grabbers because they know they're hitting you in a pain point.
Absolutely.
Of fast weight loss.
Yeah. And
this is not to judge anybody who's looking for fast weight loss.
Fast
weight loss. But just know that any thing that you do that is quick, fast, easy, is not going to be a sustainable thing. So just consider that. And it's definitely not going to put you on the road to being closer.
Yeah.
To if that's a goal for yourself, because as soon as you start eating real food again, you're going to gain that weight back, and probably more so because you've put yourself in such a state of restriction.
Yeah.
That it's likely to, for many people, create that binge restrict sort of cycle.
Yeah. Just going from one extreme to the other. And as an alternative to one of those cleanse programs, right? If coming off of the holidays, you're feeling like you're not happy with what your eating habits have been, or, you know, you're feeling out of balance, rather than trying to go to that extreme with some type of cleanse, what I would recommend is ask yourself, okay, what do I feel like is out of balance here? What do I feel like would help me feel more in balance? And keep in mind, that's going to be a different answer for everybody. But asking yourself, okay, what is one small thing I can do today to make me feel a little bit closer to where I should be? And take that more moderated approach where you're just trying to find that balance rather than going from one extreme to another, tuning in and asking yourself, okay, this is what I've been doing for, you know, the last week, last weekend, whatever it is. And this is how it makes me feel. If I were to tune into my body right now, what am I feeling like I need? And go with that, right? And the answer shouldn't be cleanse. But, you know, are you needing more water? Do you feel like a salad would hit the spot right now? Do you feel like eating less sugar might feel good to you at that point? Go with that as an alternative would be my recommendation.
No, I think that's a good recommendation. And I think, especially when we're being bombarded with messages about a program and it seems like everybody we know is doing it, or somebody we know and trust is doing it, and we might be feeling really uncomfortable in our bodies for whatever reason. Trying to just take a pause and maybe do some journaling or a little like meditation, whatever works for you. Like, what is it about this that makes me so intrigued?
Yeah.
What is it that is really making me so uncomfortable in my body right now that makes this seem like a good solution? What do I think I'm going to get out of it? And sometimes it's being like really logical with ourselves about, you know, and making a logical decision as opposed to a emotional decision can go a long way. Just taking that moment to just pause, say something neutral about your body.
Yeah.
When we feel a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And then, like Marissa was just saying, going a little deeper and why am I feeling this way? And now, like, what are my next steps? I think I maybe just talked in circles. I have no idea anymore.
You did great. I'm proud of you.
Arr.
So, yeah, I think that's our episode. What do you think?
I think that's it. I think, really, you know, you don't need a cleanse or a detox. If you do, you should be doing that with your doctor because there's probably some medical things that are occurring. If you are nervous about, you know, potentially having something in your body that needs to be cleansed out of, have a conversation with your doctor. If you feel like there's something wrong with your gut that you need to improve your gut health, go talk to your doctor and or a registered dietitian for some support. If you are looking for fat loss, cleanses and detoxes are also not the way. So that's on that.
Yes.
The end.
So thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes. And thank you to everybody. Now that it's November 1st, thank you to everybody who donated to our fundraiser last month.
Thank you.
We're really excited to have been able to send a really nice donation over to
Mass Center.
Massachusetts Center for Native American Awareness. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you so much for doing that with us and for supporting their work. And thanks for always being such wonderful supporters of us and our podcast. So that's that.
Yay.
All right, friends, we have some really amazing guests coming up on deck over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for them.
Woo.
I'm not telling you who they are yet.
It's a secret.
For now.
You have to
You'll
listen.
find out next week. Hold on to your